Hi, my name is John Paul Raj, and my mission in life is to make the learning of math fun. So, if you're new to this channel, please do consider subscribing. This is part 2 of Vectors and Transformations, a unit from International Math IGCC 0607. So, if you haven't already seen part 1, I'm going to link that video in the description box below. Please go ahead and take a look at it. Let's start. For the purpose of this demonstration, I'm going to use the CAS version of the TI Nspire CX2. So without any further delay, let's go and add a graph page. We don't want the function entry line, so we're going to hit escape and the function entry line should go just like that. All right, we are interested in geometry tools, okay? So you come down to geometry, which is number 8, and we are going to enter a polygon this time, okay? Not the triangle. Last time we saw a triangle, but sometimes in the IGCC question paper, you've got, some four-sided polygon. All right, so let's take a look at how we can transform a polygon today. And to do that, I'm just going to add, you can add the four sides as you want. So I'm just going to go add here. And once you're done with the fourth side, remember you need to come back to the original point that you started from, the initial point. We started from A, so we have to come back to A, and that's what does the polygon. All right, so now that's not the polygon I was looking for. It just came out. I wanted something like a trapezium. So I'm just going to hit undo, and that's going to go off. So I can show you again how to insert a polygon, okay? And we're talking about a irregular polygon, not a regular polygon. So we go to menu, geometry, shapes, and that's the polygon. That doesn't say irregular, but there's an option 5 which says regular polygon. That means all sides are equal, all sides and all angles. When you just say polygon, that's just any four-sided figure or five-sided figure, however many sides. I want something that looks like a trapezium, all right? So I need to be careful this time around, and that's C. D is going to be here, and remember I said you need to come back to what you started off with, okay, the initial point, and then the polygon will be formed. And now when you hit escape so that the tool goes off, that's your polygon. You can even move this polygon around any way you want as per your convenience or requirement in the question. Once your polygon is ready, the couple of things that you need to do is, if you want, you can change the color. I always like nice bright colors, and so if yellow represents the object, the next thing we need is the coordinates of the vertices. So let's go down and get the coordinates of the vertices. We've already seen how to get all these things when we talked about reflection in part 1. So if you haven't already seen that video, the link is there in the description box below. Please go and take a look at it, how we can generate triangles. And today we are looking at polygons and how we can get these coordinates of these points. In the earlier video, you spoke about reflection, about x-axis, y-axis, and any other line. Today, we're going to talk about rotation in this video, okay? So that's my object, and we want to rotate this object about a certain angle and a center. There are two things we need to know, right? For rotation, we need a center of rotation and the angle of rotation. The angle, we need to specify whether it's going clockwise or counterclockwise, all right? If it's going clockwise, it needs to be a negative angle, all right? So those things we got to be careful. The other thing we also need to be clear about is this thing should be in degrees, okay, not radians. So I'm just going to change that quickly. All right, that's in degrees. And let me just go and check the settings. The other place to also check is here, okay? So in the settings, the graphing angle, the geometry angle, they both need to be in degrees. This can be in radians, the graphing angle, because there you're looking at the graphs of functions, but especially the geometry angle needs to be in degrees. Just make sure that you have that thing also in place. Now we've got this object. Let's try and rotate it. Let's say counterclockwise, 90 degrees, and the center of rotation being 0, 0, the origin, okay? To do that, we go to menu, geometry, transformation, and we are looking at rotation. That's number 4, rotation, okay? So when you hit rotation, always remember for geometry, you get this tip here. You can go and take a look at what the tip is, what it says, but I'll quickly show you what it's all about, okay? So you can first click the object. It must say polygon or whatever it says, triangle, whatever object you've drawn, okay? So if it's a point A, then it must say point A. This time we have this polygon that needs to be rotated. So when you select that, when the mouse pointer says polygon ABC, that means you're doing the right thing, okay? So it must say that. And then it says point on. So you can see that thing, it's actually asking for where's the center of rotation. So I need to bring it to the center of rotation, and we said it's going to be the origin. Now, when you click this center of rotation, like at 0, 0, immediately you need to type in the value of the angle with a sign, all right? So if it is counterclockwise, it's positive angle. And if it's clockwise, it's negative angle. And we said we want to rotate this about 0, 0, counterclockwise 90, which means it's going to be positive 90. So I'm just going to click there, and I'm going to type in 90. Can you see that? The moment you type in, the text box appears, all right? And we said 90. And now when I say enter, watch what's going to happen. Can you see that it's already rotated up there and it's out of the view of our grid? So what we're going to do is that I'm just going to drag that grid so that you can see it clearly. So we can see that these are coordinates of A, B, C, D, and there you can see it's already A prime, B prime, C prime, D prime. Those are the reflected coordinates, and A is reflected there, B is reflected there, C is reflected there, D is reflected here, okay? And when we want the coordinates of those reflected points, we can just go and do the same thing, actions, coordinates and equations, and that's my point there. That's my reflected C there. This is my reflected D there. Can you see that? It's 1, 3, 3, 1, all right? And that's my reflected A here, okay? So this can be done, and if you're interested, you can even color that, fill it up with some nice color. And let's say we take the magenta color this time, okay? So that's how you do rotation. Now let's demonstrate this again with a different object and a different center, and maybe this time clockwise, okay? So with a negative, all right? So let me add a new problem to demonstrate this thing again. So insert a new problem, and again a graph page. Again, we don't want the entry line, so that goes off. And let's just enter this time, shall we say a triangle? Okay, we already saw a polygon, so let's just go ahead and say a triangle, and this time let me just make up some triangle. Here we go, this triangle A, B, and let's say the point C is on the axis. That's the object, and I'm going to fill it with the color red. Okay, this time red color. And let's say the rotation, the center of rotation was somewhere inside of the shape. Somewhere inside of the shape, and we want to rotate it clockwise, all right? So that means the angle must be negative, okay? So let's say that was the coordinate. The coordinates of the point are 1, 2, 3, so that's a -3 and a -2, I believe. So -3, -2, if that was the coordinates of the center of rotation. Let's see how we're going to do this. So menu, geometry, transformation, rotation, and first thing, remember triangle. It must say triangle ABC, all right? So we click that. And now it's asking for the center. And before you have clicked that, just make up your mind. All right, we need it clockwise. So it's got to be negative. And let's just say the angle is something like 62 degrees. Okay, something strange like that. So I click that and immediately type in 62 or 62.3 or whatever that is. Okay, so 62 I've said. And remember I said negative. So it has to be go clockwise. So negative clock is to do clockwise. And there when you hit enter, it's rotated. All right, so I'm just going to hit escape to get off that tool. And here we go. Let me just color that. One sec. Not that. So the triangle, let's say, okay, that's the triangle. Color the triangle, fill it with an orange color this time. So the orange triangle, okay, let me just try and zoom in a little bit. The orange triangle is the rotated triangle, and that says -62. D is the center of rotation. And if you want to look at the coordinates of the original object and the rotated object, so that's A prime. Remember, that's A prime. A prime is the rotated object. That's A, the coordinate of A. And that's C, point C. And this is C prime. And you can copy down these as is required in your homework assignment. And like I said in the earlier video also, if you're allowed to use the calculator in all its glory, meaning there is no restriction, there's no press to test restriction, then you can use this option and do your work here and just copy it down on your grid, okay? Because anyway, whether it's a test, whether it's the IGCSE exam, you need to do it on paper. So it's not like taking a screenshot, but this really helps. You can do this to check your work, whether you've got your rotation correct, because when you show it on the paper, it needs to be with the protractor and with the ruler and all the proper geometrical instruments. So this is just a way to check your answer, what you're doing with your proper geometrical tools, to check your answer and see if the calculator is not on press to test mode. So I hope that this video was useful to you in some way. Do let me know in the comments below if you have any questions or suggestions about using the TI Nspire CX2 for geometrical transformations in IGCSE 0607. I'm going to see you all on the next video.